football, but hey, it's not Friday, but it will be tomorrow. And we're joined by Urban Meyer, who's been so kind to us the last 3 years. Coach, have we been doing this 3 years, this Best Fridays? I think at least, right?
I think it's been at least, and I still love the name of it. It brings back great memories about the day before a game and how we tried to make it. Our players would call it that. Our coaches call it Best Fridays in football.
Those traditions mean so much, especially later on when you recall and you have so many memories. What a great opportunity for you, Coach. I read your release yesterday. University of Florida announced we knew you were already in the Hall of Fame, NFF, and now they're going to have a special day for you, a salute on campus. I read up on this and found out that they're going to give you a plaque on November the 22nd. That's the Tennessee weekend. And then that plaque will remain there forever on campus. Congratulations.
Yeah, Steve McLean and athletic director Scott Strickland have been fantastic, really, over the last several years. And once I retired, and they've been great. And so Shelley is really looking forward to it as well, to come back to Gainesville, go to a game. I went to one game when Dan Mullen was a coach, and I got to hang out with Coach Spurrier. But this is, we had conversations about which game, and Tennessee, obviously that's a monster. It's hard to believe it's not played early in the year because that was, such an early tradition. But that Tennessee game, man, the Tennessee game over the years was great to be a part of.
You have so many memories, and of course that great 65-15 record and you had. And just in a few words, I know it's hard to say. I wouldn't know. I never belonged to a hall. But what's it like? I know it validates your work, not that you need it, but what is it? What's the essence, the meaning for you when you make a Hall of Fame like that?
Oh, I think I can't speak for others. For me, it's because it's really all I knew since I was a kid. I was one of those guys. I was fortunate. I wanted to play as long as I could. Everyone's dream, or at least back then, was to be a Major League Baseball player, NFL football player, and that was my dream. And once that was not going to occur, then I knew I wanted to coach. I just can't imagine not being around football and baseball. And so I was fortunate to jump in. But what humbles you, Buddy, is first the reality of that the mentors that I had are the greatest of the greatest. It was from Woody Hayes to Bo Schembecker to Earl Bruce and Lou Holtz. Those are my guys. And so it humbles you that way, and then it also humbles you when you start hearing from some of your former players, and you start thinking, wait a minute, these are some of the greatest players to ever play the game. So it's great.
I'm so proud to have that book up on my shelf that you wrote with me, and I'll always appreciate it. And there's such great stories. If you haven't read it, I mean, I had some people lately say, "Wow, look at that! That's some great stuff in that book." And you were very forthcoming, and I think I got you sideways here somehow. And consequently, it's been a really interesting. And yeah, I think you got to go back around. Keep going. Oh, you had it. You had it. There you go. Perfect. We're just not good at this stuff, Coach. We're learning. But it was the book anyway.
Can you cut and paste this or no?
No, we're good. It's okay. It's all good. We're all good. We're going. We're live, and we're okay. I just want to say on the book front that I get calls every now and then. People say, "Did Urban say? Is it?" Yeah. And among that, I won't go into all that now to adjudicate it. But one of the things I pointed out, people talk about a number of players getting in trouble. I talked about this to a Gainesville Sun about it just a couple of days ago. At the time when you were being criticized for having so many players in trouble, Georgia had more. That didn't get rid of. Georgia had more than you did, So it's hard to get all this. So anyway, let's celebrate. That's what we always said we were going to do on this show. Celebrate the great game of college football. You could not have a better opener than Texas at Ohio State. Urban, what a game.
Yeah, it's one of the most anticipated in the history of college football, whether it be 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3. But this will have a major impact. I'm just going to state the obvious first, and then it's the not so obvious. This will have a major impact on both teams' year. maybe not quite to the degree that it was years ago, because both teams will most likely make the playoff regardless of what happens. There was a time, Buddy, in the BCS era, you lose this game, you're out.
Yeah.
And so I'm not devaluing this game at all, but it's a much different, the reality is if you fail to win this game, you're still right in the middle of this thing. So you got to go play well and get your team ready to go. A lot of stress. There it goes again.
Just going round and round today. Here you go.
A lot of stress to prepare for a game like this, and on both sides. The one thing is Arch Manning. I compared him to Tim Tebow, what he's going through. You start hearing the word Heisman Trophy, you start hearing the word National Championship, and this is his real first start. So I would always, like when I was coaching a guy like Tim, or even whether it be Dwayne Haskins, or all the pressure. Maybe not like Arch Manning. I mean, I start reading this stuff, and I watched a lot of film. He's got a ways to go yet, and he's extremely talented. But remember when Tim, his last year, he could almost do no right. He went from doing no wrong to doing no right.
Yeah.
And that the wear and tear on that, I witnessed it. Tim's last year, he went undefeated, and all I heard about is his throwing motion.
And how his arm strength, right? It was throwing motion, arm strength. How it was all accuracy. Yeah, it was like ridiculous.
And it's easy for a coach to put it out, but when you're a young person and all that social media nonsense, that's tough.
So many great scenes with Tim there. None greater than the Braveheart face FSU. I happened to be lucky enough to listening on the headsets then, because I was that whole year writing the book, and I was listening to you guys talk about that. And the decision of what you're going to do in that, it was a foot of water down there, Urban. I mean, it was just drenched. And Tebow hit that end zone face first. All that garnet ink paint came off on his face. And the cameras didn't catch it. But when he turned around, his whole face was red. I thought it was blood at first. Oh my gosh, And
if you remember that play, that was our chance to say we're going to take over this game, and we ran a quarterback sneak, and I want to say from the 3 or 4 yard line, and that offensive line led by the Pouncies.
Yeah,
we ended up about 8 yards deep in the end zone, that was when we said we just took over the game and enforced our will on Florida State that day.
Statement play, if there ever was one, and a great scene, and it's something that we'll always remember. And Urban, just let me, and Brendan, jump in when you have a question, but I was going to say to you, a number of people I've known over the years have left coaching and gone into broadcasting. In many cases, they have said they had more clarity after getting out of the game as a coach and getting into they saw things they didn't see before. What's it been like for you?
Well, mine's more about who I'm with. I've always been a team guy, and what I miss about coaching is the staff meetings, is the team meetings, and I get that now up to a much lesser degree. But to me, it's Rob Stone, it's Brady Quinn, Matt Leiter, and Mark Ingram, and on the podcast, same thing, Mark Ingram, Rob Stone. I've always looked at life that way. It's about your team, it's about your family, and the Fox Sports creates that, and then we live it. So I can't wait. Everybody's like, man, here you go. You're going to travel every Thursday through Monday and all, but we can't wait to do it.
It's great when you love it and you love what you're doing. It's not even like work sometimes, I tell you. It's terrific. Now, so tell me about the show. How many years is this?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I want to say 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, I don't even know. I don't remember, but I know that you've been doing it a while. It's been going quite well. Now tell folks your personal situation, where you live and what you're doing, what's going on with the restaurants. Catch us up on all that. Are you still down in Longboat, or are you going back and forth? What's going on?
No, I'm in Sarasota, and we sold Ohio, and now we just chase grandkids around. I have 3 grandkids in Vegas, 2 right next to us here in Sarasota, and then 1 in Columbus. I just did a 30-day golf trip. Went out to Pebble and Idaho, and then Ireland and Scotland. So I'm doing, when I was coaching, I never really traveled, never really took a day off. So living the best version. Shelly and I are having an incredible time right now, and we're very blessed. So all good, and obviously stay very involved in the game through the media stuff and really enjoy it.
You look great too. So obviously your health is good. And Shelly, by the way, Shelly may have a little future in TV. I saw the commercial you guys did with Spurrier. She did pretty good.
She's all, what's amazing is when, like I leave a place, they all say, well, it's time for you to go, but we wish Shelly would stay.
One of my favorite stories about Shelly is when you all lived in Colorado, in Colorado, Fort Collins, a place that Brendan knows well in '92. And you had the job offer to leave, and she says, "Can't we just stay here? How come we just can't stay here?" And of course, Shelly was loving it at the time, and she had a great job. But boy, you've had some interesting stops along the way, not the least of which is Colorado and Florida, whatever. Now you're a Floridian. Coach, give me a summary of best we can of where we stand in this great game of college football right now, and the fact that there's a little bit less talk about NIL, but I know it's not done yet. But we're talking now about 3rd and 3 and plays and defense and talking balls and getting back that way for you. And how will it be when they kick it off and you go to Columbus there and at Texas, Ohio State? Nobody's going to care one whit about an NIL deal.
No, it's one last comment about Shelly. We moved 9 times, and I never looked at a house, never bought a house, never went to a closing. That tells you how great she is and was. And during our time, I used to call her the first lady, and she was incredible, still incredible. So, NIL, yeah, I think like a lot of us, we got NIL fatigue, transfer portal fatigue. College football has never been better. Are there issues? There's always been issues. I think the playoff has really eliminated a lot of issues because it gives so many people a chance to swing at this thing. There's some new models out there that I'm a big fan of, a couple of them. I believe that the committee should go away and it should be a play-in type. I know the Big Ten, I think, has a 4-4-2-2-1-1 model out there that basically the committee, the top 6 teams in the Big Ten play for 4 spots. Same with the SEC. The Big 12 only has 2, and it's a play-in, obviously, for those spots. So I'm a huge fan of that. I've always been a fan. I don't know why I keep stealing. I don't know if that's me or you guys. Sorry about that.
Not us.
Yeah. The phone likes to do that. If you're using your phone, sometimes it switches the landscape on you. Sorry.
But I'm a big fan of getting rid of the committee. You can't eliminate the committee, and that's not saying the committee's not right, but it's a failed system. As long as human beings are picking who goes, I'm a coach for 38 years. I'm wrong a lot when I say I think this team's better than that team. But there's only one way to do it, and that's you two play, and whoever wins goes in. So I hope that works out because I think that's in the best interest of the players. It's up to you guys if you're in or out. It's not up to 12, 14 guys in a hotel room in Chicago or wherever they're at.
Big question is who's going to run college football because the NCAA obviously is not. So I guess it's going to be the committee, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't. I just hold it like this.
There you go. We can work with that.
There you go.
There you go. No problem.
I don't believe so. I see. You hear about this new college commission and all that going to be the NCAA enforcement arm because we all know, the recent ruling for the Wolverines. In my mind, the NCAA enforcement arm is over. And I'm not saying it's their fault because every time they tried to do a penalty, they got litigated. And I'm a big fan for not punishing players now for what was done by coaches before. That's not fair. I lived it. I had to coach a team in 2012 that won undefeated and couldn't play for a national championship. And they had nothing to do with that. So there are some issues, but as a whole, college football is strong as it can be.
I've never asked you about this before. We don't have time to cover it all today. But I do want to bring up Connor Stallions and the issues of cheating and what Michigan has done. And you've never commented on this, showed me about it. We don't have to go into any depth. There's a lot of people who don't really know how this guy got in the system. I believe he graduated from Naval Academy. He sort of wound up coaching and wound up stealing signals. And you were a part of this. You were affected by it. And now, because of the forfeitures and things, everybody's claiming a national championship. Auburn is now claiming 9 championships. You believe that? 9 championships. So they told Coach Spurrier about it. They said, I'm going to claim my 1990 team. If that's the case, everybody's claiming teams. I mean, we need to call a truce on this at some point, Coach, don't we?
Well, then I just claimed 2. We claimed the one at Utah when we went undefeated in 2004 and 2012. We were national champs. So I'm going to send out for our rings. We should get them in a few months.
Okay.
I'm just kidding you. You know, to each his own. You know, Auburn, I don't know if Auburn's looking for some because they've been down a little bit. If they're reaching, searching, you know, God bless them. That's up to themselves. But our 2004 team in 2012, we're going to have rings made. We're national champs.
Heck, do it. I don't care. Look, they're giving out 10,000 replica rings the weekend you're in town for basketball. Fans, there are 10,000 replica rings that weekend that they're giving away to the first 10,000 fans who go to the Merrimack basketball game. They get these.
Really?
Yeah, that weekend. Yeah, it's Jeffrey Melvin's doing that, so it's amazing. Somebody's going to score a ring. So everybody loves to have a ring, Coach. How many do you have now? 4, 5, 6, 8? What you have? So you have how many Big Tens? How many? You have 3. You have 2 SEC, 2 nationals, 3 nationals. How many do you have?
We got a lot, and our builder did a nice job. And when him and Shelley surprised me when they built the house, because you keep rings in a safe, they built a glass part of the wall that they're all displayed. So you got to figure that goes back to 1986. I got my first ring, a Big Ten championship ring as a graduate assistant. And then Colorado State, Notre Dame. We didn't get one at Bowling Green. We got a bunch at Florida, a bunch at Ohio State. So we got rings all over the place.
Coach, I wanted to. I do a show after this. It's all about the SEC football, and we're building a network here, and it's pretty exciting. But a lot of discussion about the dark. You know, we're at the end of talking season here in the South. Do you have a dark horse SEC team that you know you kind of keep it on your radar? Is it a South Carolina or Texas A&M or something like? That's sort of outside the norm. It's sort of been topic du jour this week. So I just wanted to take, I'm just looking for a little insight to give the boys, Coach. I need something from you. It makes me sound cool. So if you could, that would be awesome.
I've been watching that SEC show on Netflix, and it's really incredible. The behind the scenes, Shane Beamer and then Brian Kelly, those are 2 school. And then our Gators, man, and I got some inside sources there still, and I keep hearing about Lagway. Not, obviously his skill set is really good. I mean, what he's done, but we all know skill set does not equate to wins. There's a lot of other things involved in this, whether it be his temperament, his leadership, his ability to raise the level of those around him, and I keep hearing that's there. I mean, look at his skill set, and then. I'm a fan of Coach Napier, the way they finished the season last year. Oh, man. Apologize about that.
No, it's all right.
So I have 3. I know it's more than 1, but I have the Florida Gators as a potential dark horse SEC champ. I got LSU because they're returning a quarterback and a veteran team, and the same with the quarterback at South Carolina. I have a lot of respect for those 3 programs. I coached against 2 of them. But obviously I think I'm wearing blue today, so I'm pulling for the Gators.
I would want to exchange just this. I know we're running close to being out of time, but there are a couple of guys you probably know about them. If you don't, let me just say you need to know about them. I don't know that much. I know about DJ and what he's about and the team builder he is. He gave his whole team some of those headphones with Gators on them. Of course, his sponsor, they just ate it up. He knows how to rally a team. He knows how to get to their hearts. And he's more than just a player. He's a very good player, outstanding player, could be a great player, but he's also a tremendous teammate. And your friend, Coach Spurrier, once told me, he says, the big thing is, not everybody can be a great player, but anybody can be a great teammate. And I love that about him. He is a great teammate. There's 2 other guys I want to tell you about, and I know you won't be doing Florida games in any of the SEC. But Jaden Ball, this running back, He's the strongest guy on the team, and he is 6'2.5", 240, runs, cuts, runs great. I mean, he is an amazing player. Watch for him. And then my man Jake Slaughter from Ocala. He is being given. He's been on one All-American team. He'll be the most decorated offensive lineman in the history of Florida football. Jake Slaughter, and what a great young man, great student. Those are two guys to watch out for. The names Jaden Ball, the running back, and Jake Slaughter. And then we need to hire Brendan to fix that for him.
It's a landscape blocking thing.
It's something.
So I have to run here, but here's what I'll tell you also. Someone was at practice a couple of days ago, and they called me and said this is the first time that they've seen it since the era, our era, where when you practice, the most important thing to develop in a team is to have good players go against good players. A good player going against a lousy player, you're wasting time. And when Florida was cooking, Ohio State was cooking, is when Taylor Decker went against Joey Bosa. When Justin Troutau went against Troutwine, or Carlos Dunlap went against Pouncey. Because when you get to, it's all about repetition. Life is about repetition. You get better when it's quality repetition. You stay the same, or your skill set deteriorates if you go against lousy competition. And I think that's been a problem at Florida. I've not been there, but that's what I've heard. When you go out to practice and you're facing someone that's not very good, I'm just going to be candid, your skill set will deteriorate, and then you go against an LSU player and you're not ready for it. That player's got to be ready when the foot hits the ball. How do you do that? You go against a real good player in practice. And what I'm hearing in Gainesville is that's occurring as we speak. And that's when a player develops and a team develops.
That's the phrase, iron sharpens iron, right? There you go. Urban, thank you. Can't thank you enough for being on the program. Hope to catch up with you in a few weeks. Have a great season. Always good to talk to you. Love to Shelley, and we'll catch up to you again, and enjoy that rarefied air of at the stadium like you used to do back in the day. It's going to be a great day. Texas.
Love you guys. You take care.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach. My favorite time of the year when we get to go talk to that guy, huh? Urban Meyer, one of the legends in our mind, as far as just great guy, great coach, great Gator, great things. I always enjoy. Starting the day a little early to talk to Coach.
Yeah, it's really fun to have someone who can kind of level with you, and anybody who's ever accused Urban of this, that, and the other. And I've had friends who I've lost friendships.
I don't even talk about it because I consider it to be my friend, and it's silly, and I don't even bring it up on this show anymore because I don't breathe any air into it because it's ridiculous.
I'm just saying, wonderful it is to have a relationship with Urban.
Absolutely,
and it's all about relationships. These coaches,
but more importantly, Dad, let's not digress. He said some pretty exciting things about Florida right there. Urban Meyer just telling us directly, if you missed it, that. As far as coaches coach, right? Coaches look at things. He's hearing out of Gainesville that the level of play, both sides of the ball for practice and the ones is at a very high level, which he's referring to, as you said very poignantly at the end there, iron sharpens iron. So he's hearing good things because Urban's, as you've told me over the years, Dad, and we've learned, practice was everything to Urban and to his teams and like to a lot of, head coaches, but, even more so to Urban. Wouldn't you say, buddy?
I would say yes. And he loved his Bloody Tuesdays where they would go at it, hammer and tong. Yeah. They don't do that much anymore in scrimmage hard, but you find out about your players. Like he said, Pouncey versus Carlos Dunlap, what a battle.
Yeah,
and you get those kind of things. I remember some of the great players Spurrier had, and the DBs and the wide receivers. They would stay after practice and go at each other. I mean, really go at each other, and that competitive spirit is what makes you better.
Well, we had Ron Zook on there. They had Ron Zook in yesterday talking about a lot of these things. If you didn't get that, we'll check us out on our network here. Follow us on X. You'll see the show from yesterday, all of our shows, as well as YouTube, and get notifications when we go live, which is several times a day. But Yeah, great stuff. But Coach yesterday was on with the name of the show. I keep trying to remember it because my dyslexia. But the Die Hard Auburn Undercover. Anyways, Coach was talking a lot about how he's just getting players. Zook's he's getting players to the game. How he's like, you want to practice hard enough, but then you want to also make sure the guys get to the game. And he was talking about that yesterday. So it was fascinating. So, hey, man, not a bad week here for our network, Dad. With Zook, Meyer, Martin, what else is next? So
I'm excited about the basketball story going on right now and about what's happened in Ocala. We'll talk about it on the program tonight. And it's tremendous.
Well, tell them who you got on tonight. I got to go back to work. We got to get sidelines on the air. I got to roll.
We've got Drew Diddy from the Ocala Gator Tip-Off Club, founded by Augie Griner, and they're having Todd Golden's going to be at Golden Ocala next Wednesday night. You'll be there along with friends, and off the record. You can't cover it. You have to just go. We bought tickets, so if you want to know more about it, get in touch with the Ocala Gator Tip-Off Club and see. Packed house for a guy that is now he has checked the final box for me, and I think he is the man. I'm now a big fan of Coach, and I think the basketball program is going back competing again. Todd Golden, and a new book coming out soon called "That Golden Season" by our friends Franz Beard. So lots of great stuff happening for us, Brendan, and good to be on with you again, son.
Yeah, and go ahead and check out our sponsor, Meldon Law here. We won't back down, proven skilled injury lawyer since 1971. Go ahead and snap that QR code, takes you right to the website, all the information that you need to contact them about anything concerning injury law, all that kind of stuff.
There's Marco Polo trip he just took.
Right, yeah, that's he's probably not going to get on and talk about that because he's a big deal.
He did.
Jeffrey's a big deal. So anyways, check them out there, folks. They're doing so much for the University of Florida, and they're doing so much for you as a client. So, buddy, I got to run. I got to get my other show on. Check it, folks. We'll be back on the air in 30 minutes on this network with Rob Brown and SEC Sidelines. Exciting show on there today. I'm trying to remember. He told me yesterday. His guest tonight will be Rich Clark. Will be on 9:30 this morning. So Rich Clark is going to be on SEC Sidelines right here on this network. So Buddy will be on to 9 p.m. tonight, huh?
Yeah, you guys do a great job at SEC Sidelines. So thanks for being on with me today, Brendan. I enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, Dad. And folks, we will see you here in about a half an hour. Buddy, you go have some biscuits and say hello to your beautiful wife. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you. It's Buddy Martin, and I am, the very grateful and sort of Brendan Martin. So we'll just put it that way. I need coffee. I hit the ground running. School has started. Whew, kids back in school. We'll be on the air here in 29 minutes and change, and 2 and 2. I'm Brendan Martin. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching Best Fridays in Football.